All right, so this is the November 2023 board briefing for DISD. All of the trustees were present. The topics discussed were 2 student outcome goals and 2 constraints, as well as the superintendent's report, which included an update on the Career Institute. The first student outcome goal that they discussed centered around CCMR, so GPM 5.3, and this pertains to the level 1 and level 2 certificates that are earned by primarily P-TECH and early college students through dual credit offerings. So the district's goal for this past year was 440 certificates. They exceeded that at 470. And then here is the data disaggregated by student group. The second goal, GPM 5.4, was around the percentage of graduates enrolled in P-TECH or early college who earned 60 hours or attained an associate's degree upon graduating. The target was 60% of students, and the district exceeded that at 65.1%. And then here's the data disaggregated by student group. They also shared that from last year, they were able to close the gap significantly for African-American students and emergent bilingual students, if you look at the green boxes within the chart. One of the things that they explained was there were some decreases in the number of certificates earned, and that was because the district transitioned away from Associate of Applied Science pathways to more general Associate of Arts and Associate of Science pathways. That's because those pathways are more transferable to four-year colleges and universities, but that did significantly affect 11 campuses, resulting in declines in certain student groups. Some of the strategic adjustments for this year is a pathway manager dashboard that will identify the remaining courses needed for students to gain level 1 and level 2 certificates, as well as they'll be reviewing courses and pathways with campus leaders to devise support plans. So students earning certificates and associate's degrees, they'll enter four-year colleges and universities with a significant amount of credits, and that'll allow them to graduate faster with a lot less financial burden in the long run. So it's really great to see so much progress being done in this area. The constraints they discussed surrounded constraint 5, which was ensure district financial solvency. So they shared that an external audit was conducted and that concluded with 0 findings, which has been true for the past 3 years. And they said they will present more details at the audit committee meeting next week. They also shared that the district received a first rating of superior, which is the highest rating available, and that is TA's financial integrity rating system. Some of the strategic adjustments they shared was a process developed to monitor the implementation of GASB 96, and also completing the school first template at the mid-year point, and they'll review that during the budget development process. So they said, based off of this audit, the district is in a good position to meet long-term financial obligations. The discussion around student outcome work, and this resulted in more associate's degrees being earned by students, but fewer certificates. And they discussed that ideally they would create pathways that are both and, so allowing students to earn certificates and making sure that those pathways provide enough credits that can transfer to four-year colleges and universities. Trustee Foreman asked about if any recommendations were made based on the financial audit. So yes, they will share them at the audit committee meeting next week. And also Trustee Foreman wanted the data disaggregated by P-TECH and non-P-TECH students, as well as retention rates for P-TECH students. And she also just said that P-TECH programs help the district stay competitive with surrounding suburban districts. Trustee Mackey wanted to know the difference between level 1 and level 2 certificates. So it's basically the hours that are required. Level 1 certificates require 15 credit hours in a concentrated pathway. Level 2 certificates require 30. He asked if the pathway manager will impact retention. So it wasn't really designed for retention. It's mostly just to ensure that the pathways are complete for students to earn certificates and removing the human error that can come when scheduling those students, by hand. But they did share that regarding retention for PTech students, they have instructional specialists who support 3 to 4 campuses each and can provide individualized support. They also have a progress monitoring platform that allows campus leaders to identify gaps in students who might be behind. And Dallas College also assigns success coaches to each campus, so they have support in that way. These students have been, they're not new, they're here since previous years, but they're more intentional this year. He also asked about students joining PTech after 9th grade. So they did share that it is difficult for 11th graders to join because there's just not enough time to complete 60 hours, but there are summer hub opportunities that are available for both remediation and acceleration. They did share that approximately 10 to 15% of PTech graduates are onboarded after 9th grade. And he also wanted to know how the district pays for dual credit offerings. So there's no out-of-pocket cost for Dallas College offerings unless it's a course retake. So unless the student is taking it for, a second time. The district does pay for textbooks and partnerships with four-year colleges and universities. But an upcoming House Bill 8 could impact this and help the district pay for tuition for those partnerships with four-year colleges and universities. Trustee Weinberg asked what options are available for students who exit PTech. So they can continue programs of study at their campus level. Career Institute is there, as well as AP courses, and the campus works closely with those students and families to identify what alternatives best work for them. She asked also if the pathway manager is available for all students. So it's just for PTech students and campus-based CTE programs. Trustee Karen asked about the percentage of all graduates earning an associate's degree. So the data they shared were just PTech graduates, but when you lump them in with all graduates, 11% of graduates are earning associate's degrees. The pathway map will be shared with parents and be available in Spanish. And then he also wanted retention rates of DISD students who do go into four-year colleges and universities, and basically a success rate for that. Trustee Flores asked if all PTechs are associated with Dallas College. Yes, they also have concurrent partnerships with Texas A&M Commerce at Dallas and UNT Dallas. He asked about supervision of the students in college classes. So they meet regularly with Dallas College to share strategies and monitor grades. And he also said it's important to ensure that all the interactions with family of students meets the language needs of those families. Trustee White asked about how students can kind of monitor their progress, what information is given to them regarding their pathway completion. So one of the challenges they shared was that as college students, the students have access to their grades, their college level coursework, but the campus cannot actually see those college course grades. So the district created a college progress monitoring platform so they can meet with students and both be aware of where the student is. And she also asked if students have access to Dallas College counselors, and they do. Trustee Henry said the district is closing the gaps, and it's at no penalty to any specific student group. All student groups are increasing, which is a good thing. He also asked about students engage in extracurricular activities if they're earning associate's degrees at the same rate. So they don't currently have that data. They are going to pull that, but they did hypothesize that they actually think that students who are engaged in extracurricular activities might earn associate's degrees at a higher rate. Those are PTech and early college students who might be already involved in extracurricular activities. Trustee Mitchke asked about how this aligns with the A through F accountability system. So they're still kind of dissecting this, but previously 60% of graduates who met CCMR requirements would result in an A for the campus. That has increased to 88%. And the district also anticipates that the percentages shared might decrease based off new certification rules. So previously, a student just had to pass an exam, but now the student has to be enrolled in a level 2 course in addition to passing the exam. He also wanted to know if there are best practices that can be shared from surrounding districts, but the district did say that DISD has the largest and most successful PTech implementation. There really aren't any close in scale to DISD, but they did say that they could probably learn things from other districts regardless of the size of their programs. The superintendent's report was on the Career Institute. So currently, There are about 5,000 students enrolled in the 3 career institutes. There's a breakdown by grade there at the top. And they project in 2029 that all 4 career institutes will be fully operational with all programs of study. And they project about 4,000 students per grade level, meaning 16,000 students total would be able to be serviced. There's a concentration on 5 career clusters that have proven to be the most demanded, most highly skilled, and as well as the highest earning. So architecture, construction, health science, transportation, distribution, logistics, IT, and manufacturing. And then some of the subsets that students can kind of partake in are there in parentheses. Biggest thing they said was, students have the opportunity to earn certifications, apprenticeship hours, allowing them to enter the workforce or continue their program of study at Dallas College. And it really, Career Institute was posed as an alternate to P-TECH and early college programs, because not every student is necessarily looking at a 4-year university as something that they want to pursue. So this allows them to enter the workforce and still earn a high-paying job. Discussion, Trustee Foreman wanted to know how many students are currently enrolled per Career Institute. So for Career Institute South, it's about 2,400. North and East, it's about 1,400. She asked if all the same pathways are available at all career institutes. Yes. And then she wanted data for students who opt out of the Career Institute programs, as well as the certifications disaggregated by student groups. Trustee White asked about apprenticeship hours. So those are earned in junior, senior year during their practicum courses, which is like the last course basically in the series. Trustee Weinberg asked if all students who receive certifications go straight to the workforce. So not necessarily. All Career Institute programs do have continuing programs at Dallas College, but they don't have data yet on students post-graduation. She also asked about the language electives offered, and they offer Spanish and German. Trustee Karen asked about the length of the courses. They're 2 semesters long. He also wanted to know what percentage of graduates are expected to earn certifications. So it's about 460 seniors, which is about 5% of the graduating class. He also asked if P-TECH and early college students can participate in Career Institute. They said yes. It's not impossible, but the Career Institutes were designed as an alternate to P-TECH and early college, so they don't really have a lot of students doing both. Trustee Flores asked about students don't finish their programs in high school, can they continue at Dallas College? And yes is the answer. He also mentioned that there are some programs, for example, health sciences, which like the level 4 courses are only available to students over 18 years of age. So if a student doesn't turn 18 during their senior year, they can continue that course at Dallas College after they graduate. Trustee Henry asked about what is the projected enrollment based on. So it's just the district is building out these programs of study. So students can take basically level 4 course offerings, the entire series and all pathways. And that's what the numbers are kind of based on, just building out those programs. And so, yeah, that was the November DISD board meeting.